Good morning. Happy Friday. Yay. All right, we made it through the week, guys. We are going to do some really cool, fun watercolor today. We're going to do a possum. That's on our list. So I've got one done up and we will get that one done today. So you guys have been wanting to do a possum, so we're going to do it. Hopefully, we can pull it off. How is everyone? Let's talk about the stuff we've done up to this point, all of our tutorials we've had up to this point this year. So we did the sloth. That was on our list. You guys wanted to do a sloth, so that was one. We did some bugs. We did a worm and we did a snail, which you guys wanted to do. We did a mouse. You guys wanted to do that. We did a fox. Yesterday, we did this cute elephant. So that was yesterday's tutorial. Day before that, we had this Highland cow, which nearly did me in. But you guys were great hanging in there with me. So we did that. We did the duck. We did the skunk. And we did the hippo, the kitty, and the raccoon. And then we did the Dachshund. Y'all wanted to do a Dachshund. So we have done we've knocked off a lot of things on our list. Today we're going to do the possum. And that means that we are going to enjoy some more of this fuzziness that we did with the cow. Although we're not going to do it the way we did the cow because that one stressed me out. But it is going to have a little bit of fur around the edges. So we will be doing that. All right, so we are going to, let's see, I'm going to give everybody a chance. Everybody who normally paints with me, I'm going to give you guys a chance to get in here and get set up. We'll go through all of our supplies so that everybody knows what we're doing. Hey, Stacy Lee, how are you? Good morning, good morning. Thanks for the heart me. You guys don't forget to grab those heart me's right up here. Grab those engagement points for your account and mine. It helps us both. So grab those. Did you read my note? I didn't see it, Stacy Lee. I'm so sorry. I missed it. Good morning, Show and Tell. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. You guys, I got a new... Okay, I'll look at it when I get off of here, Stacy Lee. I got a new... Oh, yay, I'm so glad. I got a new overhead tripod. So we are going to try it out today and see how it works. Because you guys have been wanting... You know, y'all have that overhead view, but it does get difficult sometimes with the tripod that I have. So I got a new one and we are going to see how it works because I think you guys are going to really like it. It looks like this. Ta-da! So it'll be the right view and it'll be from the overhead. It's the kind that hooks on like this. I love it. It does have a light right there, but I don't have the light on it because I don't think we need the light. But anyway, I'm excited because I think it's going to be really good for you guys to have the top view like that and have it in the correct direction. So, yay. Okay. We're going to do a possum today. So let's talk about what we're going to need to do that. The first thing that we're going to need is obviously some paper. So you're going to need some watercolor paper. This is the paper that I am going to be using. It is the Meeden cold press 100% cotton. And it is a 300 GSM, which is usually 140 pounds, I think. I use the 5x7 size because you can get 4 ACEO sizes out of one sheet of this 5x7 size with no waste. Good morning, Make and Bloom. How are you? I was just telling them we have a new overhead. Check it out. We're going to be able to hopefully see from over the top today. You can get 4 ACEO sizes out of this 5x7 sheet with no waste, so you don't end up with like an extra little strip that you can't use or anything like that. It's perfect in that it cuts 4 of them. So with a package of this, you get 20 of these in a pack. That means you can get 80 ACEO sizes out of one pack of this meat and paper, which is a steal of a deal, guys. So, and paper matters, guys. If you can tell, like, look at how beautiful and textured this paper is. You can see how amazing it is. And I'm telling you, I have some other paper right here, and you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but this is not, it's not near as thick, and it does not have that texture. It doesn't absorb like this does. I mean, it is, this paper is so, so nice. So if you're looking for a good paper that's not going to break the bank, then that is a good one to have. So, okay, so there's that. I do have, I think, let me see if I have it. I did have some, a painting I did on one of these. Let me find it. I did some prints yesterday of my worm because I wanted to have it. So this I printed on the meat and paper. And this I printed on the regular paper. Not regular paper, but the other watercolor paper. And you can definitely tell a difference in the two prints. You see the difference in the color versus the color of this one. And this is a print. It is not a painting. So this one is one of my, limited edition prints. And I just wanted to see the difference between this lousy paper and my good paper. And you can for sure tell. Like, look at the color difference in those two. Like, there's a big difference. So, let's see. C. Fernald 6. Do you sell the art, or is this just paper? I do. My art is on my EBAY channel, but the paper is what we use during our tutorials today. So I'm fixing to do a tutorial. We're going to do a possum today. And that will go up on my, when I finish these, usually, I do these every day. And at the end of the week, I list them for sale. But only the ones that I've done during the week. A lot of these are already up on my EBAY channel. But the ones we've done this week are not yet. So the dog is not, the elephant is not, the snail is not up there, the cow is not up there. These 4 are not listed yet. But they will be. I'm sure that mouse stressed you out, Stacy. It stressed me out too. See a difference color? Yes, you can definitely see a difference. Hey Rhonda, we're doing a possum today. You can find that on my TikTok page where my LINKS's are. Right under my BIO. So you can find all of my information on my TikTok channel for all of my other like all of my other sites, my store, my Tube of You channel, for all of the replays for the tutorials, everything. You can find all of that. Do you protect your watercolor with wax? I don't. I probably should, but I don't. I usually, and the reason that I don't, honestly, is because I put so much colored pencil on them. It kind of has it's sealed pretty good. It would, if it got wet, it would ruin it. But, you can see the colored pencil over the watercolor in this one. So you can kind of see that it's pretty protected just because the pencils are kind of an oil base, waxy base. But I should. And honestly, I keep telling myself I'm going to order some on Amazon and get some, but I forget and haven't done that. So, yes, here's the cow. Ta-da! So there's the cow. We did that not before last, I think. That was Wednesday night. And then we did the dog, we did the elephant, we did the cow, and we did the snail this week. And then all of these are the ones we've done up to this point this year, including the worm, which this is a limited edition print. This is not the actual. The original is already sold and gone out in the mail. But I did go ahead and do a print of it so you guys could see it, because that was one of the ones we did too. But you can also see the difference in the paper. Like, this is the yucky paper I got, and this is the good paper. And there is a, for sure, huge difference in the coloring of that. Okay. All right, so let's move on. You're going to need some paper. Am I liking it better? I mean, not really. I'm not thrilled with the cow. I'm not happy with it, but I did learn a lot. And so I'm happy that I did it because it taught me a lot, and that's important. So it made me a better artist. So that's good. But hey, I know that somebody will love it, and it will still go up for someone to have and purchase and be happy with. So I haven't signed either one of these today for some reason. I haven't signed either one of those. I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so yes, I'm going to show the inspiration in just a few minutes. I don't know. I just don't like the, I don't like the way the hair turned out on it. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not that I hate it or anything. I just am not, it's not my favorite, I guess I should say. Because I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I could have done better. I don't know. Okay. Let's go ahead and, let's see. Yes, I do pre-cut. I do them ahead, like when I do 4, I use the 5x7 the 5x7 size, and you can get 4 of these ACEO sizes out of 1 page of the 5x7 of this paper. So I can get a total of 80 out of this 20 sheet pack of paper. And then I cut them. I get it in, and I just cut them up at 4 at a time. So I do 1 sheet, and I leave the rest on here because this has that like glue stuff right here, and it keeps the edges safe. So I don't pull a sheet of paper off until I'm ready to cut it. I'll leave it in here until then. So, sorry guys, I dropped this drawer right here. Pick that up real fast. So we are going to do a possum today, and we are going to be using that paper. We are going to be using, the next thing you're going to need is a brush. So those of you who know me know that I will be using the Mead & brush set. That is this set right here. It is the 1, 3, 5, and 7. They do make a 9 brush set, but I personally use the 4 brush set. And I really, really love them. They have leveled up my art a lot. They don't rust. The ferrule stays tight. They do not, they're made in such a way as to reduce hand fatigue. So if you're painting for hours on end like I do, you are not going to end up with, like, your hand isn't going to start cramping and getting super fatigued quickly. It kind of reduces the time that, or it increases the amount of time that you can paint before your hand starts kind of getting tired. Also, they hold a ton of water. They're short, so you can control your strokes really easy. They just have a lot of really good features about them. They are a professional brush set, but they're not a professional price. You can get these for under 25 bucks, and that is a really good price for a set of professional brushes. I've had these for over a year. They don't shed. They hold their shapes, all the things. So I love these brushes. If you're looking for a good professional brush set that does not break the bank, then this is the set for you. My daughter just heard a Possum and got excited. She loves them. Yep. Well, we're going to be painting that today. I'll show you guys the inspiration pick in just a minute. All right. So there is the brush set we're going to use. Another set of brushes that we're going to have for today is a detail brush set. So you're going to need a small brush. Now you can use these medium brushes. You can use the tips of these for some of the detail work, but if we're doing teeny tiny stuff, then you're going to need a good detail brush set. The Golden Maple set is the one I use. It's got 20 brushes. You get your flats, you get your liners, you get your round brushes, you even get your angled brush and your fan brush right here. So it is a great set, but it does sell out quickly. These are currently on a really good sale. They're like 50% off right now. So if you're interested, or it might not be 50, it might be 40. But anyway, they're on a really good sale, and they'll sell out because they usually do. So if you're looking for a good detail brush, comes with the case, the whole thing. It's really nice. This is from Golden Maple, and it is the detail brush we'll be using today, or I will be using today. Okay. The other thing you're going to need is some paint. And we are going to use the Meeden 96 color set, which is right here. This set is my go-to favorite set. It has all of your primary and secondary colors. So you get 48 primary and secondary colors. And then you also get your 30 metallics. You get 12 macaroons, and you get 6 neon colors. It also comes with your, hang on one second. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. Okay. It also comes with your brush and a pencil, an eraser, and 2 art sponges. It comes with this palette that detaches. So you just hook it right here when you are ready to close it up so you don't lose it, and it closes up like that. Otherwise, you can pull this out and you can use it like this, or you can take it off and use it wherever you need to, which is what I usually do. So that is the palette that we're going to be using today. Okay, so if you guys, Linda Grace, thank you so much for that purchase of those brushes. Brenda, thanks for the purchase of that paper. You're going to love that paper. You're going to love the brushes too, Linda, but ooh, that paper is amazing. So this is the palette that we're going to be using today. And then the other few things that we're going to need are, you're going to need some colored pencils, which I use the Color colored pencils. I'll show you all those in a minute. And you're going to need a waterproof multi-liner brush, such as a Micron or the Grabby multi-liners. I'll be using the Grabby multi-liners today. This is the 005. They do make an 003, which I very likely might have to use today, depending on kind of what his hair comes out to be. And I know, aren't they awesome, Stacey Lee? I love these brushes so much. But the Grabby multi-liners, they are a 20 set. They come like this. You get all of your sizes in black, and then you get your 05s, all of those colors in 05s, which I absolutely love. And so you're going to end up with 20 total in this set. It starts at 003 and works your way up in the black. Plus you get your brush pen and your heavy one. Let me see if I can pull it to take the lid off of this and show you. This is like those, it's sort of a brush pen. It's like a script pen. So, and it's really nice. I love the script one. Yay, show and tell, you just ordered them. You're going to love them. No, artist, the paint set is Meeden. And I don't know that this is true, but I've heard from multiple people that Grabby, that they're both the same company. I don't know that that's accurate, so don't quote me on that, but I've heard that. So yes, Brenda, I am live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., except on Wednesdays, I'm live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So Wednesday nights, and then the rest of the time I'm live in the mornings at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we do a tutorial every day. So those of you who are wanting to learn how to paint, granted, I am not a trained artist. I've learned through watching videos, and I am self-taught. So please understand that I don't know all the technical ins and outs of art and the supplies and all the things, but I know what I love and what I use, and that is what I do on here. So just know, you know, that's my disclaimer. Hey, Kendra Kelly, how are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay, the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need some colored pencils. So let me show you the pencils that I use. These are the Watercolor pencils, and I absolutely love this set. And I love it because it has so many options for each color. It comes in color families. So you get basically, it comes, whoa, sorry guys, pop that off really quickly. It comes in this tin like this, and you end up with your color families in each tray. So you get 8 trays. You get your primaries, you get your neutral, your grays and your blacks, and then you also get your neutral colors. So you get 6 of your primary color families, and then of course you get, these are your new, this is your neutral palette, and then you get your grays and blacks. Okay, so those are the pens that I love. I like to have options on colors. I had a pencil set that I absolutely used every single day for like 3 years. It was 72 colors. I love it. It is in the shopping cart. It's the So Colors. It's product number 9 if you're looking for less colors than 240. But I can tell you this. I upgraded to the 240 set for this reason right here. Okay. When you are coloring and you have 3 orange options of a light, a medium, and a dark, you get amazing color, okay? I had 3 here, light, medium, and dark in this green. Love it. It's beautiful. It blends fairly well, and I'm happy with it. However, when you have 6 or 7 different greens, this is what you look for. You end up with these beautiful blends. Here's the orange. This is 6 different oranges as opposed to 3 oranges up here. So it's not that it's bad this way. I love this. But when you have the option of doing more, you have a smoother blend that comes through. So you're not in a place where you have to settle for only 3 colors. You can go with, instead of a light, a medium, and a dark, you can do a light medium, a medium dark, and then a dark, and you're going to get this really smooth blend instead of these harsh lines that you have in this blend here. Not that that's, I mean, I love this. It's beautiful. And I loved that pen set, or that pencil set, for years and years I used it. But I finally decided it was time for me to upgrade and get more colors. So that's why I used the 240 color set as opposed to the 72 color set. But you can't go wrong with either one. They're both amazing, but I just like to have more color options on mine. So good morning, good morning. Brenda Jackson, how long have you been doing it? I have been painting with watercolors now for almost 2 years. But again, I'm self-taught, and I do not claim to be a museum quality, you know, classically trained artist at all. And I don't claim to know much more than you guys, just so y'all know. But we do enjoy painting and having fun together. So that's what we do. Okay, so that's all of the products that you guys are going to need today for our tutorial. Kaylin, thank you for that purchase. You are going to love those detail brushes. I'm excited that you got those. Okay, so you'll have to tell me how much you love them. Yeah. I get that. They're not very good. I did for a long time too, though. So, I mean, it's a good way to start. But when you're ready to level up, then it's definitely worth it to invest in it for sure. So, Feral Mom, thank you for that purchase. I see that you got that pencil sharpener. Guys, if you guys don't have a really good pencil sharpener, I'm going to tell you, did you get the pink one or did you get the black? I got the black just because I felt like it would go better in my studio, but I kind of wish I had gotten the pink just because it's fun. But when you do, when you get an electric pencil sharpener, you don't want to mess up your colored pencils with this, okay? There's several things that can happen with an electric sharpener and your colored pencils. And since your colored pencils are quite expensive, you definitely don't want to chance going down in your pencil sharpener and accidentally tilting it and breaking the tip of your pencil off, because then you've wasted that lead, and those colored pencils are expensive. The other thing is, you don't want a pencil sharpener that's going to eat up a lot of your pencil. You want it to sharpen it and spit it out. Like as soon as it's sharp, you want it to stop grinding on the pencil, because you don't want it to eat your pencils down, right? So this sharpener, this is a non-sharpened pencil. I can put it in here and it's going to sharpen it. It's going to take a little while because it's a brand new pencil, right? But it's going to spit it out and it's going to be nice and sharp. However, if my pencil is, if I have a colored pencil and I put it down in there and it's already semi-sharpened, all it's going to do is sharpen it until it's done, and then it's going to spit it out. So you see how much quicker it was to do this one? So instead of it being on a timer and sharpening for, say, 5 seconds or whatever, and just grinding and grinding on it, even though it's already sharp, it sharpens it and spits it out immediately. So you're not going to waste your pencils. Now, my other pencil sharpener was manual, or it was an electric pencil sharpener, but I had to hold it in there as long as I wanted it to sharpen, then I would have to pull it out, right? Which is great, except that you don't have the ability to stay straight. Like this one, there's no way to go in this except straight. You push it down there and it takes it in exactly straight, so you're not tempted to tilt it and accidentally break that tip. So it's a really good pencil sharpener to have if you have colored pencils, because colored pencils are not cheap. And so whatever sharpener you use on your colored pencils, you want to make sure it is one that is going to be as efficient as possible to keep you from using those up faster. And I like to have really sharp tips when I'm using, like when I'm doing detail work on like corners and stuff, like underneath his little neck here and stuff. I needed that to be really, really sharp. So I had to sharpen it several times while I was doing this part of the neck of the dog. So it's important that when you do that kind of stuff that you have an efficient pencil sharpener that's not going to eat your pencil up. It's only going to do what's necessary, and that is it. So that's my spiel on pencil sharpeners. They're important. It's important to have a good sharpener if you're doing work with colored pencils like we do. So I'm glad that you got that, Feral Mom. You're going to love it. You have the big pencil set, right? The Color pencil set. Didn't you get that the other day? Am I right on that, or am I not remembering that correctly? Anyway, I think that if you have a good colored pencil set, you need a good pencil sharpener. So, okay. Dun-dun-dun. All right, and then the last thing you're going to need is a good pencil set to draw with, which is going to be, this is what we're going to use right here. This is the Nick Pro mechanical pencil set. And guys, this is my favorite Christmas gift I got this year. I absolutely love this set. It has everything that I need in it. It's got the 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, 2.0s. It's got 3 2.0s. They're color-coded, so the lead in the yellow goes with the yellow, the blue goes to blue, and so forth, which is great. It is made of heavy-duty metal, but they're very lightweight, so they're super easy to write with. The reason I like to use a mechanical pencil is this. If I am coloring with, or if I'm drawing with a regular pencil, this is going to dull down and dull down and dull down, and it's going to get wider and wider every time. So my lines are not going to be consistent in their width. What's going to happen is you're going to have to constantly be sharpening your pencil to keep your width consistent on your drawing. So, for instance, on this lion that I did, which you guys have all seen. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump that sideways. I needed his hair to all be really consistent. And in order to get the lines to be the same width, I used the mechanical pencil to do that. If I had used this pencil, some of these would be thick and some of these would be thin, because as this dulls down, it gets wider. So I like to sketch with a mechanical pencil because then I can get consistent lines. And if I want my lines to be thicker, I just move up a size in lead. So I go from the 0.5 to the 0.7, or I'll go from the 0.5 to the 0.9 if I need a thicker line. So I change sizes in pencil lead in pencils rather than in, you know, having to sharpen and figure this thing out, because that just doesn't work for me. So this set does come with all of your hardnesses of lead. Also, it comes with your soft leads and your lighter and your darker leads, depending on the softness of their core. It also comes with a kneaded eraser, 3 of these soft erasers, your small erasers, and some colored leads for your 2.0 pencils, along with some sharpeners for those. So it's got everything you need in this little case. I take this everywhere. This goes in my bag when I leave my house every single time, because I never know when I'm going to find something I want to sketch. So I throw my Funto journal and that in my bag all the time. Because that way I can stop and sketch whatever I want to sketch if I see something that I want to do. So this is the pencil set that I'll be using today, and I'm going to be using the 0.5 today. So if you guys are wondering what size to use, that is the size we're going to use. Sorry, I do always struggle with getting it out of this case. Okay. All right, so that's the last thing that we're going to need today for our possum. Are you guys ready for the inspiration pick? I'm fixing to give you, show you the inspiration pick for what we're going to be doing this morning, and then we're going to get started. Hopefully everybody is ready to go. You've got all your supplies, and let me pull up our picture. So this is the possum today that we are going to be using as our inspiration pick. This is an AI generated image. So it is not someone else's art. I just simply go into ChatGPT and explain to it that this is my art style. So it knows my art style already because I've uploaded multiple pictures of my art. And I say, in my art style, please create a cute, whimsical possum that I can use as an inspiration to paint. And it creates the image for me. So this is not someone else's art that we are going to be copying. And it's not going to look like this when we're done. Okay? It's going to end up looking like our own art. So just know that if you see this picture, your painting is not going to end up looking exactly like this. Okay? We are going to simply use it as inspiration to create our own art. Okay? So if you need a screenshot, now is the time to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are going to get started. I'm going to put you guys on my new overhead little, whatever you call it, tripod, and get y'all situated there. Let me see. I want to make sure that it's hard for me to see. Okay, does that look good for you guys? I feel like that's a good view. So I want to make sure everybody's good with that. Y'all let me know. Show and tell. Isn't he adorable? Perfect. Okay, that's great. So now we have the overhead that is in the same direction, and it's from an overhead view. So I'm excited about having this new tripod. So it was Toner, I think, is the company that sent it to me, and they actually sent it to me. So I'm going to show you guys the product. just because I feel like that I need to do that, because they were very, very kind and sent this to me at no cost. So it is now product number 1 in the shopping bag. So if anybody is looking for a good overhead tripod, it does have a light also. I didn't hook up the light right now because I don't need it. I have this bright light over my desk, so I didn't hook up the light. But I did want to show you guys the tripod that I'm using. Because I think that because this company was really, really nice and sent it to me for free. And so I'm excited to have it, and I'm thankful for them for sending it out. So I'm just going to show you guys. So if you're looking for that, it is product number 1. All right, we're going to get going. Are you guys ready? Let's move forward. All right, we're going to start with our 0.5 pencil, and let's go ahead and tape down our print first so that we can have our borders and everything. I use washi tape, and I do about a 1/4 of an inch border, and I just eyeball it. You can use any tape that you want, whatever you feel like gives you clean lines. I, however, am partial to washi tape. I like it. Painter's tape works. I like washi tape because I can see through it and I can tell that my borders are nice and even. So that's why I use the washi tape. I don't, unfortunately, like the Mead and Art tape. I tried it multiple times, and I just didn't get any clean lines. It just kept letting water leak underneath it, and it just didn't do well for me. But that was me. You guys can certainly try that out on your own if you choose to. I just didn't really like it. And I ended up with, you can kind of see, where's my raccoon? I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So you can see the difference. See how the edges of this right here are really jagged. I mean, it looks fine because, you know, it's watercolor, but it is not smooth. And if you look at this, you can see how clean that is right there. That's from the washi tape. So the peaches. Oh, we're doing a here, let me grab it. Let me show you. Oh, we're doing a here, let me grab it. Let me show you. Sorry, I accidentally turned my camera off. We are, hang on. We're doing a possum. So there it is if you want to screenshot it. Go ahead and do that. Okay. Got it? Perfect. All right. Let's get y'all back up here. Sorry, guys. I'm having to get used to this, but okay. So now as far as washi tape goes, you can use regular painter's tape, like the blue painter's tape, or you can use washi tape, whichever you prefer. It doesn't really matter. Or you can use artist tape too. I know that several companies make them. The only one that I have is the Mead and I don't like it. So, but I know other companies make it. I think Grabby makes one. I'm not sure other companies, but I think there are several companies on TikTok Shop that make a good artist tape, but I've not tried them, so I can't tell you yes or no on them. I can definitely tell you no on the Mead though. I don't like it at all. All right, so now we have this situated here, and we are going to go ahead and get going on our drawing. All right, so I'm going to use my Nick Pro mechanical pencil, and we are going to start with the top of his head. So the top of his head is going to be right here, and it's just going to be an upside down frown. Let's going to be a little frown. And as we do that frown, we're going to bring those edges down. And we're going to bring them down over here. Okay. We're going to bring the cheeks out and make those parentheses on either side of the cheeks. And we're going to bring that all the way in and just kind of give it a little bit of a chin. Not much, just a teeny tiny little bit of a chin. Okay, let's go ahead and do the ears. They're going to be these nice big circles or ovals. Okay. And we're going to want to do the inside of our ears like this and like this. Ooh, I don't like the inside of that ear. Let's redo that. Sorry, guys. Messed that up. All right, let's make it. Wide and then smaller. Okay. All right. Let's see. How about paper? I'm sorry. I like the purple painter's tape. It's for delicate surfaces. Blue painters is not good because you can't see through it. Yeah, that's true. That's why I don't like the blue painter's tape, because I can't see through it. How about paper like the ones you're using? Okay, the paper that I'm using is the Meeden paper. It is product number 7 in the shopping cart. And it is the 5x7 size that I have cut into 4 sections. So they're 2.5 by 3.5 inches each. And there's no waste when you do it that way. So these are each 2.5 by, this is 2.5 by 3.5 inches wide. And I get 4 out of a sheet. I hope that helps. I hope that's what you were asking. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, his body is going to come out from just underneath his cheek here. We're going to do kind of like a triangle, kind of like we did yesterday with the elephant. We're going to do a triangle. And we're going to do another triangle on this side. Oh, I went too far. Hang on. Okay, another like angled line on this side. And we're going to do the feet. Let's do the feet and then we'll connect the feet. So our feet are going to be like little mountains like this, like little M's. And we're going to bring them around like a little paw. And we're going to finish those off. So they're going to be like little circles like this. Okay. And we're going to have a little line in the middle like that. Okay. So now we can bring this line down to the edge of the foot, just like that. Okay. And then over here, we're going to bring the arm, the hand there. Bring it down, and we've got our little fingers. So our fingers are going to kind of be pointy and longer. Like that. And then they're going to come up like this. Okay, same thing here. We're going to draw the foot. Make our little M. And circle around. and then finish those off. Bring that down. And then again here with the arm. Up. Okay. And then we have our tail. It's going to swing around to a point and around like that. Tail needs to thin out some at the tip, so let's try that again. So we're going to go around like this. There we go. Okay, so now we have the tip. Now, I know this does not look like a possum, okay? It's not going to until we actually put detail work on it and color and all the things, okay? So, don't feel like it needs to look like it right now. Okay, I want everybody to understand that. It always looks like a hot mess when we first start. Every single time, okay? Let's go ahead and draw the mouth and get that done. So we're going to do the two sides of the smile like this. Okay. And we're going to come across like this with that smile. And we're going to come down like this with the mouth. And then inside that is going to be the tongue. Like that. Okay. The eyes are going to be right here at the base of the cheeks. And we've got our nose right here, which is an oval, but it does have a slight point at the bottom. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, it looks like a hot mess. That's okay. All we need is a basic sketch of what we're doing. Everything else comes together when we start putting color on it and when we start putting details on it. Sorry. Yes, Rhonda. Hang on one second. Here is the inspiration pick. Okay. Got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Sorry, guys. Every time I take it off of here, it hits that side button on my phone and turns it to my lock screen. So I'm going to have to get used to that. So if I do that, it's because I've accidentally hit the lock screen. So just give me a sec. I'm working on this new tripod. Although it is it's nice to have the overhead view. So that's good. Okay. Now we are going to, let me take this off right here. Let me get my coffee. I need a sip of that. I'm starting to yawn. Okay. So let's go ahead now and get our kneaded eraser and get rid of these harsh lines. And just lighten them up. This pencil set comes with one of these kneaded erasers. And it will, all it does is lighten up the lines that you've drawn so that they're not messing up your drawing. I mean, your paint. When you put your paint on, they're not so noticeable. Okay? All right. Let's get started on color. All right, we're going to do some blending, guys. So, you know, we're going to be doing a wet on wet technique to do that. Okay, so I want you to grab some water. I'm going to have to move my water because this new tripod is kind of where my water was. Okay. So you're going to add some clear water to your, let's start with the ears. Let's do the ears. Add clear water to your ears, to your ear, one ear. Okay, so we're going to go here. And then we're going to use the gray. And we're going to take the gray right at the base right here. Actually, let's use black right here at the base, okay, of the ear. Now rinse your brush, and with a clean brush, spread that color across the ear. Okay, go ahead and add a little bit more if it loses its fade. So we kind of want this top part of the ear to be a little bit darker. And then we're going to come in with some pink right here on the inside of the ear. Okay, it's going to kind of blend that together. So we want the darkness in there, but we want the ear to also have that pink area. Okay. And move over to the other ear and do the same thing with the clean water. Okay, so we're going to add the water and then add in the black. We're going to put that black up underneath this here now. And we're going to spread it up because we want the top of the ear to be a little bit lighter this time because of the angle, and we want the shadow to be underneath it here. And then we want the pink underneath the bottom here. Okay. And let that blend all together like that. And we just want all this to look blended and nice. And we'll put details over it in a little while, so it's not going to matter if it's got a few little, awkward lines. Okay. Dry the ears. And now let's do the face. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go over the whole thing with clear water. Don't worry about go around the nose if you can. Just because we don't want it to be, the nose is going to be kind of a lighter color, so we want to make sure we can do that without messing with it too much. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do with this is we're going to go in with the black first, okay? So we're going to go along the edge of the head with the black. Just like that, okay? I know that looks like a lot. That's fine. Go ahead and dry your brush and pick up some of this color. Not too much, because you want that to be dark along the top. Okay. Good. Okay, now you're going to get gray. Go ahead and take some gray and go right up underneath that with the gray. Bring it down in the center just a tad and back up. Okay, it's going to look like a blended jumble of mess right now, and that's okay. Just remember, we want this center to come down like this. Okay. Now I want you to grab the bisque color, which is this, and I want you to mix it with some gray. Let me find my palette. Okay, so I want you to take your bisque color and I want you to just mix it with a little bit of gray. And we're going to use that for the rest of the face. Put some on there and then just wet your brush and drag it down. Okay, so you're not going to end up with total white, but you're going to end up, it's going to be light. Okay, blend that up. Make sure you get your cheeks really good. Okay, so now we have those blends of the different colors of the face. Okay, now dry that off. We're going to do a second layer of that gray and black at the top in just a second, once it's dry. Okay. All right, now we are going to go back in with this gray just up underneath here. Whoops, not too much. Just up underneath here. Starting to look kind of like Mickey Mouse, huh? All right, now get some clean water and just kind of blend out those edges so that it's not super harsh. Good. Now take that same bisque color that you mixed up and go in underneath it again and blend that all together. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so now we have our blends for the head. Now, I know it looks like a hot mess. Again, I'm going to tell you guys, trust the process. Because I promise when we put the detail in, it's going to all come together. Okay. All right, let's do the body. Okay, now from here, we're going to use that same bisque gray color right here for the chin. And we're just going to bring it down in like kind of like a triangle shape. Like down the chest area. And then we're going to go in with the gray. And we're going to do that same thing. Bring the gray down. Oh, not too much though. Okay, so we're kind of blending that, going from that bisque to the gray. And then we're going to add in the dark black, or the blacker color. It's not going to be a true black because you want it to be watered down. So just make sure you don't put too much on it. And go around the toes and down the foot. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Just going to bring this in. I'm just wetting it. I'm doing a wet on wet because it makes it easier. But And take your black and pop it in where you need it. And then rinse your brush and smooth that out. Okay, so now you have a slight, like, the bisque blend down to the gray. So I'm going to go ahead and darken this bisque up just a little bit more. Add in a little bit more gray through here where we want it to be. And then add in a little bit more black at the base where it darkens up. And just kind of let that blend together so that you get that 3 color blend. Personally, I think this needs to be lighter, so I'm going to lift some and lift. Okay. All right, let's let that dry. Make sure everything's got connected and together. Good. Okay. No worries. I know it looks like a hot mess. I promise it's going to be fine. You've got to trust the process. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get our pinkish bisque. Okay. So we're going to mix this bisque color. And we're going to mix it with a little bit of pink. Not too much. For the feet. Okay. And we're going to do the toes and the feet. And just so you know, the center of the feet is going to be slightly darker. So go ahead and grab just a little bit more of that pink on your brush without even rinsing your brush and put it in the middle. Kind of give yourself a little bit of a circle there. And then leave it alone. Okay. Go back, go over here and do this one. And do that same thing. You're going to take a little bit of that pink, put it in the middle. And leave it there. Okay. I guess I should probably put these paints up so you guys know what paints I'm using. Sorry. All right. Same thing with the hands, the little fingers. Use that same kind of pinkish bisque color for the fingers. Okay. And then the tail is going to be the same thing. We're going to end up with, use that pink bisque color. For the tail. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, we have the base on there. Want to go ahead and get a little bit of this pink and go right along at the top of the tail with it. So we have a little bit of a blend there. Nothing major. But we want to have a little bit. Okay. All right. So that's our base. He looks like a complete and total disaster, but we are about to make him come to life. Okay. So the next thing that I need you guys to do is to grab whatever watercolor detail pens that you want. What colors did you mix for the feet and the hands? I mixed bisque, this bisque color, and this pink macaroon color. These two to make that. Okay. Okay. All right, so everybody go ahead and grab your multi-liner. I'm going to use, actually, let's go ahead and do the face first. So I'm going to grab the 05. All right, so this is the 05 multi-liner. And I am going to get the eyes done first. So I'm going to go up and over and up and over. Okay. We'll do the mouth. Okay. And we'll go ahead and do the eyes. And okay, let me do the highlights of the eyes with my handy dandy ZSCM gel pen. So we're going to do that right here. Okay. And we're going to do the tongue with our detail brushes. I'm going to pull out my 18. Okay, so that's going to be these right here. So I'm going to pull out my 18 right here. And we're going to do the tongue. We're going to do that with this red black tea color. That's what I'm going to make the tongue. And you're just going to go up and like that. Okay. And then we're going to have to fill that in with the black. So this time I'm going to use my 005. Let me make sure this is dry. And I'm going to use this Grabby Multi 005. Okay. Now let's do the nose. Use your handy dandy 18 brush. Grab whatever color you want his nose to be. I'm going to use that same bisque and pink color that his feet were. And I'm going to put his nose in here like this. Okay. And I'm going to dry it. And then we are going to outline it. Oh, wrong one. I'm using the 005 to outline. Thank you guys for the likes. And then we're going to do a little highlight on the nose right here. All right, so now we have his little face. Now we've got to put his little cheeks on there. So go ahead and get your Meet in number 1. Wet these little cheeks. Just remember, if you've used your Grabby multi-liner, you can go over that with water and it's not going to smear. And let's get some cheeks in there. We're going to use that same pinkish bisque color that we mixed for the feet and the hands. And we're going to make the cheeks that same color. And then in the very center, we're going to go back in with that pink, just the pink. Just like that. Okay. And now let's draw that. Can you move him up a little on the camera? Yes, I will move him up. Sorry. Is that better? That's as high as I can move him. I can move this back, though. How's that? Better? Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments, so. Okay. All right, so now he has got his little base happening. He's got his face going on, and now it's time to start giving him some personality. All right, so here's how we're going to do that. We're going to come in at the top right here first, and we are going to just kind of bring his little hair up. Okay, so we're gonna give him some hair. I'm gonna have to turn him so I can get my hand in the right place. And we want to go again along the contours of his head as we outline it too. Okay, to give him that. And he's gonna come out like this. Across his ears. Okay, so we have those ears kind of lined out, and we're going to go in around like that. You want to be careful not to make them look too uniform. So if they do, go back over them and fix it so they don't look like you know, because the hair is going to be going all different directions. It's not going to be going and looking perfect. So, okay. Now we're going to go along out the edges here. And here. We want to make sure we have some of these coming up from his head. Because possums have those like that. And it's going to kind of come down to a point right here in the middle. Okay, so you see how he's starting to come to life now? We are going to bring him to life. You have a hard time making whiskers. It just takes practice, Stacey Lee. You just have to keep trying. It's practice. Okay, you have to have a really light touch, and you just want to make sure that, you know, you don't think too much on them. Okay, just bring them out, and don't overthink it. Just pull them where you feel like they need to go, and try not to overthink it too much. Okay, so just keep going. And I make some short, some long, some out of control. Some go in different directions so that they don't look like, you know, they're too uniform. And then here we're going to go and kind of just make some little V's. For his face, like that. Now, how's he looking? I think he's starting to come to life, you guys. What do y'all think? He's going to be really cute once we get all of the shading and everything in. But for now, I think he's looking pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and do these outside lines. I'm going to go ahead and follow that line first, and I'm going to come back and put the hair in. Sometimes I give my hair like a little hook so that it looks kind of frazzled. And again, different directions. Okay, then we're going to go kind of where his arms would be. Give him that guide. So we have that. Just get some hair in there. Okay, so we have those areas kind of defined a little bit. And we're going to kind of come down like we did in the chin area. Kind of make those. This is what I learned from the cow. If you don't want to define those too much. You want to just kind of give it some kind of like the illusion of hair, layers of hair there. But not too much. Okay. And then we'll go through and we'll shade those areas better. And that's going to come out much more natural looking than the cow did, hopefully. There we go. And make this along the hands kind of jagged too. Okay. And then the tail. I'm going to bring that tail around here. And then the tail's going to have these little marks going down it. Okay. All right. So now we have kind of the detail of the hair and everything that's in there. Let's see. I have to say, this is the cutest possum I've ever seen. I wanted to kind of creep me out. I know, they creep me out too, Kaylin. That's why I said make it cute and give it personality in my prompt when I gave it to ChatGPT. Frazzled, yep, they are. Okay, I'm going to go just along here and give some of these areas a little bit of hair, just so it doesn't look quite so uniform. We want it to be fuzzy and have a little bit of whimsical personality to it also. So that helps if we add in these extra little fuzzies. All right, so there we go. All right, we're going to leave it there because we're going to get some colored pencils out now. All right, guys. So what I want you guys to do now is I want you to, y'all got to remind me to start doing backgrounds. I keep forgetting to do our backgrounds. So we're not going to have a frame on this one because I forgot to do the background again. It seems like I forget that every day. Okay. But that's okay. We're going to leave it. Honestly, we probably could do a background at this point because I've got it outlined and that's not going to smear. So maybe we'll do, I'm going to try it. I'm going to use my 5 though, so I can kind of control it. And then we'll do the colored pencils. So I'm going to go around him. I'm just not going to go over the watercolor parts. I'm just going to go around the edges of him. Good thing about this the grabby multi-liners is they're waterproof, so you can do this. So I'm just going to prove my point on why you should use watercolor pens to do all of your detail work. Instead of using black watercolor paints, if you use this, if you use the watercolor pens, then when you're doing stuff like this, you don't end up with smudges and smears everywhere. You just get a nice solid wet background. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a light blue background. Oh, don't go over him though. Okay. Looky there. We did it. Okay, let's go ahead and dry that. Yeah, hit them with some splatters. That's right, Kaylin. You know me well. Naomi, thank you so much. He's still got lots of work. We're not even close to done. We're going to do some shading and give him some real pop and personality now with the colored pencils. Okay. So I think we got him dry. I do have one little section I need to fix because I got a little bit of a blue on his ears right here. And I want to make sure that that is still pink like I want it and gray like I want it. So just fixing that and we're good. All right, everybody go ahead and pull out your colored pencils because that is what we're going to do next. Is we're going to start getting some shading in. I am going to pull out some grays and blacks to start. And then and some pinks, okay? So I'm going to get, I'll show you the colors once I get them picked out. We're going to use this one for sure. And probably, let's see, this and this. Probably the same grays that we used yesterday. Okay, so there's my grays. I'll go through the colors in just a second. Let me go ahead and get my pinks that I'm going to need as well. All right. Okay, so here are the colors that we will be using for our shading. Yeah, he's still a hot mess, but that's okay. He's not gonna be. He's about to turn into an amazing mess. All right, so here's the colors of the grays that I'm using. I'm using the Lotus Gray. I am using the light gray. I'm using the slate gray, which I have not used yet, and the dark gray, which is the same gray, dark gray that we used yesterday. Okay, so we've got basically a light, a medium light, and a dark medium and a dark. I probably need a medium to, let me pull a medium and see. And the light brownish gray for my medium gray, okay? So together, this is what they look like. Hang on, let me get them in the right order so that you guys can see what I mean by that, okay? All right, so we have a light, a medium light, a medium dark, and a dark in our grays. Okay, and then we, of course, have the white to do our blending if we need to. Okay, so let's start with that, and then we'll talk about the pinks in a minute. So here's how we're going to do this. We need to get the shading on his head first. So I'm going to do the ears to start. We're going to start, and we're going to go over the entire ear and like this edging of the inside of the ear, okay, with the light color. Because the ear is a small area, we don't need to use the medium light, but we do need to use the medium. When we do the medium, we're going to come out, but we're not going to come out as far as we did with the light. And this is all with a light touch too, by the way, guys. Okay, light pressure. Then we're going to skip the medium dark, and we're going to go straight to the dark, and we're just going to go right along the edge. And right along the edge there. Okay. Now with medium pressure, we're going to do that all over again. We're going to go over the ear, over the hair part of the ear. Skip the medium light and go to the medium. And then the dark. I don't want that to get on there. Okay. Now, heavy pressure. Okay. Now, go to our pinks. And we are going to use the light. I've got the azalea pink, the sakura, and the light coral. Okay, this is the light, medium, dark. We're going to go with the light, and we're going to color that in his ear. Then we're going to go with the medium, and we're going to come down across the top with the medium, and then the dark. A little bit less right here. Same thing again. Heavy pressure this time because we're only going to do 2 layers on this one. Okay. So now we go back in with our multi-liner and just define a few of those hairs. And now we have that ear looking so much. Now I want you to compare the 2 ears. You see the difference? This one looks very full and dimensional, and this one looks very flat. Okay, so that's the difference when you start adding in these colored pencils. Okay, so let's do the other ear. We're going to go, this time we're going to do right up underneath here only, and then right on the edge right here, and that's it. Because we don't want a lot. We want the top of the ear to be lighter. So medium is going to come out just a little bit and a little bit right there. And then dark. Okay, medium pressure. And dark. Now, heavy pressure. Okay, then we bring in our pinks. Oh, Possum's my farm. My farm name is Sleepy Possum Farm. Oh, that's cool, Linda. All right, so we're going to use our light. Oh, medium. Dark. Light. Medium. And dark. Okay, we're going to go back over it with our grabby multi-liner for our hair. Okay, we have our ears. Now let's do the head. All right, now the head is going to be, what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that we get this shading that we want to be more defined, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with the light color, and we're going to go around the head. Don't worry about the eyelashes. We'll put those back on in a minute, but we're going to go around in that shape with this light color. Okay, so come down and then around, okay, with the light color. Now with the medium light, we're going to do that same thing. We're not going to go out quite as far. We're going to come down a little less than the medium. And then the medium dark. Okay, again, the whole thing. this time with medium pressure. And the dark. Okay, heavy pressure this time. And then we're going to blend that out with the white. And now we have that head shadowed. And we have those layers, which is really nice because that kind of defines that face there. Okay. Let's see. What type of palette do you put your gouache in or on? Do you let it dry and then re-wet to use? Samantha, my gouache, this is not gouache, this is watercolor, but when I do use my gouache, I use a Stay Wet palette. It is the Nick Pro Stay Wet. Let me see. Nick Pro. Hang on. It is the Stay Wet palette right here. So when I do use my gouache, this is the Stay Wet palette. And it's designed for, you know, you put your, it comes with the paper and it comes with the sponge and it comes with, and you get the sponge wet and you put it on there. It's a really good Stay Wet palette for gouache paints. I will be doing some gouache, Samantha. I have not. I need to do more gouache. I just haven't. My favorite is watercolor, so I tend to gravitate towards that, and I really need to stop doing that. I really need to go get more into my gouache and use that more. So I'll plan to do some gouache next week so that you can play around with those. I'm not great with gouache, but I need to get better, so it'll be good practice for me too. All right, let's go ahead now and get the body part of this done. We also want to do the cheeks though, so let's go up underneath the cheeks with this light color as well, because we want this to kind of be that cheeky color. Okay, so let's go in a little bit along here. And then the dark. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Okay. You want this to be very sharp. Okay. Light. This is medium pressure. Heavy pressure. Okay, so now you can kind of see how that head is looking like it is much more dimensional than the body. The body is still really, really flat. So we're about to make that body less flat though, because we're gonna add some dimension, and we're gonna blend a little differently on the body because we want this ombre to come down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the light in the center here, like this, all the way, and here in these little sections up here. Okay, then we're gonna take the medium light and we're gonna do these sections right here. This is all light pressure, guys. Okay. And then we're gonna take the dark and we're gonna go right at the base of the feet here. Okay. And we're gonna blend this medium light up into the light. And we're going to take the light and we're going to blend it down into the medium. Okay. Then we're going to take that medium and we're going to blend it down into the dark. Okay. Then we're going to take the light again with medium pressure and we're going to blend again. Okay. Take the medium and blend up into that light color and blend down into the dark. Okay, so we're going to get this change, this kind of ombre change here. And then the dark. Also, I want this dark to kind of come up and separate these body, the arms from the legs. So let's go ahead and go up a little bit with that. Okay, now we're going to do that again. Heavy pressure with the light going all the way down into the medium. Now heavy pressure with the medium going up into the light and down into the dark. And then the dark going up into the medium. And then one more time, take that medium over the dark. Okay. Now, we're going to take his hair. We're just going to kind of bring that out. We're going to add in some little loose V's of hair where we feel like it needs to be in there. Okay. Now his body is also got that dimension and that fade of color. All right, so how are we doing so far? It's okay, Jamie. You can be as late as you want. The replay will be up on my tube of you for those of you who missed the tutorial. All right, let's do the feet. We're going to come in it with this pink, and then we're going to come over it with this orange. And I feel like we need a little bit of a darker orange there. So let me pull it. Or maybe an ochre. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with this right here. All right. This is the metallic orange. Let me sharpen it. And we're going to go right along the pads of his feet and just give him a little bit of a shadow in the pad of his feet. And then go back over that with the pink to blend that out. And then let's go ahead and give him a little bit right up underneath here as well. Good. Okay, pink, orange, and blend and blend. Good. Now let's do the tail, and we're going to come across the tail with this pink, or not pink, but whatever color this is. This is the azalea pink, yeah. Okay. Then we're going to come across it a little further, like a little ways across the base with the coral. And then we're going to do the metallic orange right across here. Okay. Again, with a medium pressure, under pressure. Okay. And then heavy pressure. Okay. Last thing is the hands. I'm going to go over it with this light coral. And then we're going to do dark right up underneath where it attaches at the hair. Okay. All right. Now let's get his ground underneath him. So we're going to take our brush, our Meeden brush, and we are going to... Oh, I forgot to put those pencils up for you guys. Let me put them up for you so y'all know what pencils I was using. I meant to put those up and forgot. So that's the pencil set that we were using. Okay. Let's do... Just put clear water. And I'm going to do brown to start. So I'm just going to give him a little bit of brown. And then we can go in with a little bit of green. Okay, and let's dry that. Okay, and let's give him a shadow, just a slight shadow underneath him. I'm going to start with the dark, and I'm just going to go kind of underneath. I'm going to make that. Okay, with this dark. And then I'm going to go to the next darkest, and I'm going to go over that. But I'm going to come down a little bit further with it. And then I'm going to do the next darkest. And I'm going to go over all of that. But I'm going to come down a little bit further. Okay, so he kind of has this shadow. And then the next one. Okay, and that kind of brings that shadow out. Into the dirt. Okay, so now he's kind of got a shadow up underneath him, so he looks like he's sitting on the ground. All right, let's do some splatters, you guys. Who's ready for that? Let's cover his little face because we don't want to mess his face up. So let me get something to cover his face. All right, cover his face up and let's give him some splatters. I'm going to do some black splatters today. Okay. Hit him with some splatters. Hit him with some splatters. Shadow under the tail. Yes, I need a little bit of a shadow under the tail. You're right. Let me draw these splatters and we'll do that. I'm glad you said that. Thank you, little sister. All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a shadow underneath here, too. I'm going to do it on the inside. There we go. Actually needs to come out a little further there. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now he is complete. Let's pull his tape off of him. And we now have our precious Possum. What do you guys think? You guys, that was one of the ones on our list. So we have officially finished that. Where are the splatters from? All I do is take my Meeden #1 brush. I dip into water, and I dipped into my black today. Right here. Let me see if I can get this to. Yeah, I dipped into my black, just like this. Got lots of ink on it, and I just tapped it and splattered where I wanted it to go. And I did black today because he's mostly gray, so I figured that would go the best. But he turned out cute, I think. Now, remember when I said at the beginning, it's not going to end up exactly the way the picture is. We only use the picture as inspiration. So, whoops, sorry guys. I want you guys to see. Here is the inspiration. Here is the picture. So it's not the same. You cannot have expectations when you're painting. You have to, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, little sister. I hate that. Our furries are our friends. But anyway, I don't want you to have any expectations. I want you to create your own art, okay? That is not what it's going to turn out to be, okay? Yours is going to be different than mine. Mine is going to be different from the inspiration picture, just like yours. But we have it to look at as a guide, as all. That's all we're doing, okay? So I want everybody to be very clear on the fact that you should never have expectations when you're painting. Okay, so I want everybody to be very clear on the fact that you should never have expectations when you're painting. I got to get used to this new tripod not pushing my buttons on the sides of my phone. So, but anyway, you want to make sure that you don't have expectations when you're painting because you'll end up disappointed and you don't want to do that. Sorry, can I get pic of inspo picture? Yes, sorry, Jamie. Hang on one second. I'm going to get you out of here. Let me pull it back up. Well, there you go. If you want to go ahead and take a picture, anybody who wants the inspo picture can take it now. It's AI, so it's not like it's anybody's art. I just gave it a prompt for my art style. I think my prompt was create a cute, whimsical possum with a cute personality in my art style for a photo or for me to use as an inspiration photo to paint. That was my prompt. And it already has my art style because I've uploaded my art, pictures of some of my art so that it understands my style. And so then it just creates the picture. Okay. So if you have a different style than I do, you can upload it and say the same thing and it'll create it in your style. Okay. So this is the possum. So we can check that off of our list. We are making some progress on our list. We did the dogs. We do have a pit bull, a hedgehog, and a horse, and a hummingbird still left on our list. So maybe we'll do the hummingbird starting next week. I'm not sure. But just so you guys know, everything that we use today, you don't have to have those same supplies, okay? As long as you have a brush, some paints, and a pencil to draw with, and a waterproof pen. Those are about all that you absolutely have to have. Brush, paint, waterproof pen, and a pencil. And obviously paper, some good paper. So let's go over everything that we used today because I want you guys to know all of the supplies. Those of you who painted with me, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so thankful and grateful that you guys come on here every day and sit with me and paint and enjoy art. I'm grateful for that. Those of you who've purchased things, I appreciate that. No sloth. No, I have another sheet I have another list of our stuff, Jamie. There is an otter on that one. I just didn't pull it up because it didn't have the... Yeah, I have another one. I have 2 separate pieces of paper that have all of our stuff written down on them. And an otter is one of them. Yes. Okay, so here is today's tutorial, and this is what we used to create it. Let me get this new overhead thing out of my way, and I will show you guys. All right, the first thing we used was the Nick Pro pencil set to use our pencil, or to use as for our drawing. This is the mechanical pencil set, and it is amazing. My favorite Christmas gift I got this year was this pencil set, and it has a case. It comes with the 0.5, the 0.7, the 0.9, 3 2.0 leaded pencils. They're color coded. So, and they also have all of the different hardnesses. So if you want an HB or a 2B, if you want a 6B, or if you want an 4H, all of those are in here for you guys to use and change out. They have a, like a little tab right here that you can change. You just twist it when you change your leads, so that you don't have to remember what lead you have in your pencil. You just change it accordingly. So I have HB in mine, so that is why I currently have it on the HB setting. The thing about using a mechanical pencil is that you get consistent lines with mechanical pencils. If you use regular pencils, the lead will dull, and you see how wide that lead is. Okay, so if I was drawing with a regular pencil and it dulled down, my lines are going to widen out as I'm drawing. Whereas with a mechanical pencil, it's going to go down, and you just push this little button and you add more lead to it. But the width of the pencil is going to stay the same. So your drawing lines are going to remain consistent. And then if you want a wider lead, you just switch to a bigger pencil, so the 0.7 or the 0.9 or the 2.0. So using a mechanical pencil set allows you to be much more consistent with your drawing. It comes with your erasers, a kneaded eraser, 3 of your soft erasers, pencil sharpeners, and replacement leads, and also colored lead for your 2.0s. So it comes with everything that you need to sketch, and this little travel case, which is amazing. I take this travel case with me everywhere. And I do that because you never know when you're going to find something you want to sketch. So this and my little Funto journal goes in my bag with me every time I leave the house, in case I need to sketch something. Okay, so that is what we use. Best set ever, and I love mine. I highly recommend. Good, Stacy Lee. I'm glad you love yours. You draw a lot more than I do, so you'll really, really get a lot of use out of yours. The horse, I know. I've got several pinned for ideas for the horse. I'm a little concerned about the horse, though, because I'm not sure. It's one of those that I feel like I'm not going to be able to do very well, but I'm going to try. Because you guys want it, so. So I'm happy to try it, even if it does come out to be a disaster like the cow. I was trying to get these in all the right directions. Okay. There's the cow. Okay. All right. Now, the other thing that we used was the Meeden paper. Guys, paper is incredibly important. So if you are wanting to truly level your art up, having the right kind of paper is the place to start, because it really makes a difference. The texture and everything makes a huge difference in the coloring and how bright and vibrant your art becomes, especially when you're doing like we do with watercolor and then colored pencil. It makes a big difference. Let me show you guys. This was the worm that we did. Now, this is not my original. This is a limited edition print. And so it is not one that is original. But what I did was I got paper, and I printed this one, and I printed this one. This is with the cheap, lousy paper, and this is with the good, nice paper, okay? You can see a massive difference in the coloring of this versus this, and the look of it, because of the texture and everything. So even though this is because my original is sold, and is mailed off, but I kept the rights for some limited edition prints of it. And so this one is one of those prints. And it looks almost like an original because the paper is super, super textured and nice. And so the colors pop. This does not look good. And this is not something I would want to sell as a limited edition print. First of all, it's not even lined up right. But second of all, just the color and texture of it is so, so different. How did your copy get off of a printer? I do a high resolution scan of all of my art for limited edition prints. So this is a high resolution scan that I put on my computer, and then I print it on my printer. And I have a large format Canon Pixma printer, so it's very, very nice, and it'll print up to 13 by 19, which is huge. It'll print poster size, but it'll also print teeny tiny like this as well, and it prints really nicely. As you can see, this looks like an original, but it's not. But it does. I mean, like, if I were to tell somebody that this was an original, most people would not be able to tell that it's not. And that's because it is got all the detail and everything is still in here really, really nicely. So, yeah, it's hard to tell that it's not an original. No, this is the Meeden watercolor paper. I print it on the, I get the books of this size, the 4x3, and I print it on the 4x3s in the 2.5 by 3.5 inch size, and then I cut it down to the 2.5 by 3 inch size. So I print it in the center of this paper, and then I trim it. So that's how I do that. So this is the 4x3 size of the Meeden paper. It's the same paper. It's just a different size as what I do my originals on. So that's how I do that. So it comes in 3 different sizes. It comes in the 4x3, the 5x7, and I can't remember what the third size is, but there are 3 different sizes in this paper that you can get. But the 5x7 and the 4x3 are the 2 sizes that I use in this paper. So, and it, like I said, you know, you can tell the difference. This is the limited edition print, and this is a limited edition print. And you can definitely see the difference in how much more beautiful, vibrant, and detailed this one is than this cheap paper. So, printer, my printer, the printer I have is a Canon Pixma. It is a, let me see, it is this. It is the Canon Pixma IX6820. That's what I print on. And then my scanner is the Epson Workforce 7710. So I put my art in here. I scan it. It goes directly to my printer when I scan it. And then I print it on this large format, the Canon Pixma. So hope that helps. And these are, you know, these are just as popular too, guys. Just so you know, I will usually do 10 limited edition prints of my ACEOs. And because remember, these are artist card editions and originals. So editions means limited edition prints. Originals mean you have one original. So I do 10 editions and I do one original. And my editions obviously sell a little bit less than my originals. But I will say this, I still sign and date the backs of my limited edition prints. I sign them, I date them, and I title them in my own handwriting. And then they come with a certificate of authenticity that has the editions on it. So it looks like this. Let me show you. I don't know why that's on there. It looks like this, and this says original 1 of 1. But the authenticity for the prints will say edition, and it'll say 1 of 1, or 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10, 4 of 10, all the way up to 10 of 10. And so that's where, so they get a certificate of authenticity that comes with it that has what edition it is. Did that make sense? Series of birthday cards or occasion cards for weddings. Cool. Yeah, Kaylin. And you can do that because you can do one painting and then you can print them really nicely on good paper. I will tell you, I just recently got a sample pack from Red Paper. And they sent me a sample of a bunch of different types of paper, and I'm going to be playing around with their paper to see which ones I like the best for my print club, because I want to do, where do you get that from? What? My paper? To buy to paint on. I use the cold press. I like cold press, 100% cotton, 300 GSM. That's what I like. Some people prefer the hot press. The best way to do it is to try both of them and see which one you like the best. I personally think that the cold press is easier to work with. But I have had hot press, and it isn't bad. So it's kind of a preference, or at least for me, it's just a personal preference. So, hey, Unjudgmental, how are you? So anyway, so when I do, the certificate of authenticity I downloaded it from it's somebody here on TikTok. And they're like a company that supports artists and like helps them to, learn how to market themselves and all of that kind of stuff. And they have a certificate of authenticity download available. It's like $5, I think, or something. And you purchase it and download it. So, I'll have to find that. I can't remember the name of their TikTok channel, but I'll get it for you guys so that you guys can have access to that certificate as well. And I do, in my description, I have, I upload the print or the scan to ChatGPT, and it writes my description for me. So I don't have to do that either. So you put your title, your artist name, the medium that you used, the dimensions, the date that you created. I just do the month and year. And then whether it's an original, which is 1 of 1, or whether it's editions and it's 1 of however many editions you've claimed. So when I sell my originals, the person who purchases my originals, in the description on my listing, it says on there, there are 10 limited edition prints available of this original. So they are aware that I have limited edition print rights to 10 editions. I can't send it to you, Stacey Lee, because I purchased it from them. And if I do that, like, I don't have the rights to send it to you. I don't own that certificate. That was something that I purchased a template from someone else, but I can send you the people that I got it from. It's like $5, I think. And I'll send you that. I'll send you the link, and then you can, it's on TikTok. So, I'll send it to you, and then you can do that. Yeah, for sure. Mocha Moments, thank you so much for the purchase of that paper. You're going to like it a lot. You're really going to, the texture of the paper is absolutely amazing. So, and like I said, I cut these out of the 5x7s because you can get 4 out of this one pack. But, when I do my prints, I use the 4x3. And I print them onto the 4x3. So that's what I did with this one. I printed it on here. And then I just trim the edges because they don't have a 2.5 by 3.5 inch. So I just print it on the 4x3 in the center, and then I trim around it and create my additions for my prints. Okay. Any more questions about that before we move on to paints? All right, so the next thing after paper, you are going to want to have a good set of paints. Okay, so the paints are going to be, the ones that I use are these Meeden 96 color set, but I also have the 48 color set. And that is, it comes with 48 colors of primaries and secondaries, plus you get 30 metallics, you get 12 macaroons, and you get 6 of your neons. You get a brush, a pencil, an eraser, and 2 art sponges. You also get a palette that is detachable. So it attaches right here. You can pull it off to use it. You put it back on when you're ready to close it up. Oops, close it up. Dang it. Put it back on when you're ready to close it up, and you can close it up and store it however you like. These pop out, which I love because you can use them however you need to and then pop them back in, which I do quite frequently. So this is a really good palette. You cannot go wrong with either the 96 or the 48 color. The 48 color one I used for over a year and a half before I upgraded to the 96 color palette, and I used it literally every single day for a year and a half, and it still has tons of color left in it. The only reason I upgraded is I wanted more metallic, so and I wanted a few more of the primary and secondary colors, so that is why I upgraded. But I still use this palette all the time. It's still got plenty of paint left in it. I did refill the white, but other than that, all of these are the original paints that came in it. I know it looks like a hot mess, but that's because it is, because I use it every day. But it also comes with your paintbrush and your eraser and your pencil and a sponge, and your palette is in the back instead of off to the side. So that's the difference between the 48 color set and the 96 color set. I use the Grabby Multiliner 005 to sign mine because I like to have a small signature. So that is what I use, and it's waterproof. So if you accidentally drop water on it, like I did on my sloth, I had to redo this one. I had to redo my signature because I didn't use the waterproof pen, and then it came out, a piece of water hit it and smeared my signature. So I had to put gesso over the edging right here, redo my signature so you could see it, and you can still see there's a little bit of a smudge from that ink right there because it messed up. So I learned a really hard lesson. And now I sign all of my paintings with this Grabby Multiliner or a Micron that's waterproof. Okay. Okay, so that's the paints that we used. Additionally, I use the Meeden brushes which are right here. Oh, I forgot to put the paints up. These are the paints that I was referring to right here. The Meeden 96 colors or 48 color set. You can get both of those at that link, and you can't go wrong with either one of those. 48 colors is great. 96 colors great too. I like them both. The other thing that we used was these brushes right here. These are the Meeden watercolor brush set. I have the 4 brush set. They also make a 9 brush set, but I haven't needed a 9 brush set. This was today's tutorial for those of you who just came in the room. This is what we did today, was the Possum. So, and these do not rust. They are short, so you can control your strokes. The ferrule stays tight so they don't shed. They hold a ton of water, and they're designed to reduce hand fatigue for painting hours on end. Your hand doesn't get as tired. So they have a ton of benefits to them. Not to mention the fact that they will just level up your art like you've never seen. If you don't have a good set of brushes, then I will highly, highly recommend you grab up this set. And the reason I say that is because brushes make such a huge difference in the quality of your art, and they will level you up quicker than anything else. And you're not going to pay $40 a brush when you get this set. You're going to get this entire 4 brush set for under $30, which is amazing because you can pay $30 for just 1 brush at the art supply store. So, you're going to want to take advantage of that. I actually think these are on a flash sale today. The last time I looked, they were on a really good flash sale. So they were under $25 for the set. So if you're looking for a good set of watercolor brushes, then this is definitely the set to grab for sure today while it's on sale. Okay. Let's see the other brushes that I have, and these are on a 40% off sale today. And these brushes sell out quite frequently. As a matter of fact, yesterday they had like 160 in stock, and today they have 39 left. Like, these sell out fast, and these are the Golden Maple miniature detail brushes. They're designed for like miniature painting for like dollhouse furniture and model cars and things like that, but they work great for details in your watercolor. So you get your flat brushes, you get your liner brushes, you get round brushes, and you get your angled brush and your fan brush as well. So you get 20 different brushes in this set with the case. Very, very nice set. Love this detail set. These leveled up my art even more when I got them because I was able to do those teeny tiny little details that I couldn't do before. So if you do not have this brush set and you're a watercolor artist and you do not have a good detail brush set, then get this set while it's on sale. It's normally $49.98. It's on sale for $29.99. It's like 40% off. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. So, so get them. And I'm telling you that because if I had known how much I was going to love this set, I would have gotten it long before I did. My biggest regret is that I waited so long to get a good detail brush set. And now that I have it, I use it all the freaking time. Okay. Let's see. The other thing that we used was the Grabby Multiliner waterproof pens. That was for all of the detail work that we did. So all of the hair on him and all of our lines and all of that we did with the Grabby Multiliners. All of these details that we did on the fox. All of the details on here on our little snail. The dog has some really good little whisker details that we did with these. All these little wispies. Those are done with the Grabby detail pins, and there are 20 in the set. Okay, you get all of your blacks in all of these different sizes, and then you get your 05s in all of the colors. So you get 20 pins in this set. And it's a really nice set to have because they are archival and watercolor or waterproof. Again, if you like the microns, I love those as well. So either one of those are a great pen to use for your details. But I love these grabby pens. I really, really like them a lot. But I use my microns too quite often. So I kind of use both, and I'm glad I have both sets because I like having a wide variety to choose from of sizes to use. Okay, the final thing was the pencils that we used. This right here, this 240 piece colored pencil set. Y'all, this pencil set is absolutely incredible. I love this pencil set. Today we use the grays and the pinks, but it comes in color families. So you get 8 trays. 6 of them are your primary color families, and then you get your blacks and grays, and then you get your neutrals. So it's 8 different trays of color families to choose from, and you get so much options on colors. So it makes it so easy to blend and to make things look really smooth and ombre instead of having harsh lines. So if you are used to having the option of, say, 3 colors in the green as opposed to having, 6 colors in the green, well, I promise you're going to love, love, love having this set because, as you can see here, you have your, I have 3 colors here. I have the dark, the medium, and the light. And you can see where each color changes because I only used 3. Here I used 6 or 5. So I used a light, I used a light medium, I used a medium dark, and then a dark. And it ombres down. So it's very hard to see any harsh lines in this. They fade very smoothly. That is what I love about having options. So if when you have 3 options, it's very different than when you have multiples. And here is an example of what you can see when you have different options. You have 3, you have light, medium, and dark here. Here you have 6 options. So you see the difference? That's the light, medium, and dark blending option. This is the light, medium, dark, and dark option. So you just get a different, here's the, again, light, medium, dark. Here's 6 or 7 different blends. So you get to do more smooth transitions from color to color when you have more options. You have a much less smooth transition from color to color when you have to skip over several of the hues in the color. So if you have a light and a medium and a dark, you don't have your light medium or your medium dark in there to choose from. So that transition is not as smooth as it is when you do have those options. So the 240 color set is a great option. I used my 72 color set for years and years, and I loved it. And again, I still love it, and I still use those pencils. But now that I have the 240 set, I just have more options to choose from, and I love that too. So, okay, that was the last thing. So any questions on any of the supplies that we used for today's tutorial? I do appreciate everybody who's purchased things today. If you have any questions about anything, I'm happy to answer them for you. Because I want you guys, if you have questions about my process of my certificate of authenticity or my additions and originals or any of that stuff, I'm happy to answer that as well. And just so you guys know, what I do with my art is that this week, these are the tutorials we did this week. Let me find them. We did the elephant and we did the cow. Where's my cow? Okay, so these are the 5 that we did this week. We did the cow, we did the elephant, we did the dog. He's my favorite. We did the snail, and we did the possum. Okay. Courtney, thank you for the follow. I'm going to follow you back. So these will be going up on my EBAY on Sunday. They go up for 7 days. Every Sunday, I post the ones that I did for the week. Anything that we've done in the past that hasn't sold will go up again. So I have several this week that are already going out the door. These two for sure are going to be leaving and going to their owners this week. So I am going to be scanning these, getting the COAs together, and getting my limited edition prints available for these. Because these originals have sold already. Like they already have bids. So I know they're going to sell. So that's how I do it. So each week I add the tutorials that we do to my list of stuff on there. So if you guys like any of the ones that we did this week and you want to grab those up, they'll be going up on Sunday. Now, the other thing is, Kaylin, you're sweet. I don't even like the cow. He's not my favorite. I'll be happy for him to go to his new home. But if you guys missed any of the tutorials, I want you guys to know that you can grab those up on my Tube of You channel. Okay, so any of these right here, other than today's, which isn't up yet, and this one, which is uploading right. These two are not up yet. They'll be up in the next day or two. But all the rest of these are up. Okay, so if you're wanting any of the tutorials to learn these, you can get them on my Tube of You channel, which you can find on my TikTok page. Okay, and my TikTok page has every place that you can find me outside of, here. So I can't redirect you. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that you can find that on my TikTok page. So that is it. Any questions before I hop off of here? Thank you guys all for the purchases. I appreciate everything that you purchased. That helps me out so much. You guys have no idea how much. I do a happy dance every time somebody purchases anything from my showcase. So I'm very, very grateful for all of it. I will not be on over the weekend, most likely, because I will be, I've got a lot of stuff planned with family this weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. However, I might just pop on. You never know. And if I do, I'll share it out. But otherwise, I will see you guys on Monday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for our next tutorial. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I've looked into Hummingbird. Looked at a hummingbird, and I'm kind of excited about that because it's different colors. We're not going to be in the browns and grays like we have been lately. Like I'm really tired. Like this was a fun one because it had color. So I'm really wanting to get out of the browns and grays. So I think what I'm going to do Monday is probably the hummingbird. Alicia, thank you so much for the follow. I'm going to follow you back. I will see you guys then, okay? At 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday morning. I'm live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, except on Wednesdays. I'm live on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. All right, so that is my live schedule. If you guys are wanting to know that, to grab your paints and come and jump in and paint with us. We have a ton of fun. So I hope that you guys will join us again. And I appreciate you guys joining us today. And I will see you. Kaylin, you're welcome. I will see you guys on Monday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.